Vedic scriptural literature is the Srimad Bhagavatam, the beautiful story of the personality of Godhead, the mature contribution of Srila Vyasadeva, the compiler of the Vedas. Of the 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto is considered the most confidential since it describes all the transcendental pastimes of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is a summary study of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. The activities of Krishna, which appear to be like those of an ordinary human being, can only be properly understood with the help of a bona fide spiritual master, fully realized in the knowledge of this transcendental nature. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is authorized by an unbreakable disciplic succession of spiritual masters going back thousands of years in the time when Krishna appeared. Because he is the representative of the disciplic succession for this age, and because of his complete immersion in love of Krishna, Prabhupada is uniquely qualified to present Krishna as he is. Shukadeva Goswami, the original speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, has declared that there are three classes of men and that the pastimes of Krishna will be relished by each of them. The liberated soul who is no longer interested in mundane topics must certainly hear about Krishna with the highest pleasure. Most certainly hears about Krishna with the highest pleasure. The person who is trying to become liberated will also enjoy these topics of the personality of Godhead, which purify anyone who hears them. And even the gross materialist will enjoy hearing about Krishna because of the resemblance between his affairs with the gopis and the loving affairs of ordinary boys and girls. Foreseeing the publication of this book with its 58 full cover illustration, Prabhupada commented, "No other religion has such a full concept of God. I think our Krishna book will convince them. Whoever reads it will become a devotee of Krishna." With introductory note by George Harrison. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Volume 1, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Preface. 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 निवृत्तदर्शैरुपगीयमानाद् भवौषधात् श्रोत्र मनोभिरामात् क उत्तमश्लोकगुणानुवादात् पुमान् विरजेत विना पशुगुणात्. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.1.4. In these Western countries, when someone sees the cover of a book like Krishna, he immediately asks, "Who is Krishna? Who is the girl with Krishna?" etc. The immediate answer is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How is that? Because he conforms in exact detail to descriptions of the Supreme Being, the Godhead. In other words, Krishna is the Godhead because he is all attractive. Outside the principle of all attraction, there is no meaning to the word Godhead. How is it one can be all attractive? First of all, if one is very wealthy, if he has great riches, he becomes attractive in general. Similarly, if someone is very powerful, he also becomes attractive. And if someone is very famous, he also becomes attractive. And if someone is very beautiful or wise or unattached to all kinds of possessions, he also becomes attractive. So, from practical experience, we can observe that one is attractive due to wealth, power, fame, beauty, wisdom, and renunciation. One who is in possession of all six of these who possesses them to an unlimited degree, is understood to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These opulences of the Godhead are delineated by Parashara Muni, a great Vedic authority. We have seen many rich persons, many powerful persons, many famous persons, many beautiful persons, many learned and scholarly persons, and persons in the renounced order of life, unattached to material possessions. But we have never seen any one person who is unlimitedly and simultaneously wealthy, powerful, beautiful, wise, powerful, famous, beautiful, wise, and unattached, like Krishna in the history of humanity. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is an historical person who appeared on this earth 5000 years ago. He stayed on this earth for 125 years and played exactly like a human being, but his activities were unparalleled. From the very moment of his appearance to the moment of his disappearance, every one of his activities is unparalleled in the history of the world, and therefore anyone who knows what we mean by Godhead will accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to the Godhead, and no one is greater than him. That is the import of the familiar saying, God is great. There are various classes of men in the world who speak of God in different ways, but according to Vedic literatures and according to the great acharyas, the authorized persons versed in the knowledge of God in all ages, like acharyas, like Acharya Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhva, Vishnu Swami, Lord Chaitanya, and all their followers by disciplic succession, all unanimously agree that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As far as we, the followers of Vedic civilization, are concerned, we accept the Vedic history of the whole universe, which consists of different planetary systems called intermediary planetary system, or the lower planetary system. The modern historians of this earth cannot supply historical evidences of events that occurred before 5000 years ago, and the author and the anthropologists say that 10,000 that 40,000 years ago Homo sapiens had not appeared on this planet because evolution had not reached that point. But the Vedic histories, the Puranas and Mahabharata relate human histories which extend millions and billions of years into the past. For example, from these literatures we are given the histories of Krishna's appearances and disappearances millions and billions of years ago. In the fourth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna that both he and Arjuna had had many births before, and that he, Krishna, could remember all of them, and that Arjuna could not. This illustrates the difference between the knowledge of Krishna and that of Arjuna. Arjuna might have been a very great warrior, a well cultured member of the Kuru dynasty, but after all, he was an ordinary human being, whereas Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the possessor of unlimited knowledge. Because he possesses unlimited knowledge, Krishna has a memory that is boundless. Krishna's knowledge is so perfect that he remembers all the incidences of his appearances some millions and billions of years in the past. But Arjuna's memory and knowledge are limited by time and space, for he is an ordinary human being. In the fourth chapter, Krishna states that he can remember instructing the lessons of the Bhagavad Gita some millions of years ago to the sun god Vivaswan. Nowadays, it is the fashion of the atheistic class of men to try to become God by following some mystic process. Generally, the atheists claim to be God by dint of their imagination or their meditational prowess. Krishna is not that kind of God. He does not become God by manufacturing some mystic process of meditation, nor does he become God by undergoing the severe austerities of the mystic yogic exercises. Properly speaking, he never becomes God because he is the Godhead in all circumstances. Within the prison of his maternal uncle Kamsa, where his father and mother were confined, Krishna appeared outside his mother's body as the four-handed Vishnu Narayana. Then he turned himself into a baby and told his father to carry him to the house of Nanda Maharaj and his wife Yashoda. When Krishna was just a small baby, the gigantic demoness Putana attempted to kill him, but when he sucked her breast, he pulled out her life. That is the difference between the real Godhead and the God manufactured in the mystic factory. Krishna had no chance to practice the mystic yoga process, yet he manifested himself as the supreme Krishna had no chance to practice the mystic yoga process, yet he manifested himself as the supreme personality of Godhead at every step, from infancy to childhood, from childhood to boyhood, and from boyhood to young manhood. In this book, Krishna, all of his activities as a human being are described. Although Krishna plays like a human being, he always maintains his identity as the supreme personality of Godhead. Since Krishna is all at, one should know that all his desires should be focused on Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the individual person is the proprietor or master of the body, but Krishna, who is the super soul present in everyone's heart, is the supreme proprietor and supreme master of each and every individual body. As such, if we concentrate our loving propensities upon Krishna only, then immediately universal love, unity, and tranquility will be automatically realized. When one waters the root of a tree, he automatically waters the branches, twigs, leaves, and flowers. When one supplies food to the stomach through the mouth, satisfies all the various parts of the body.